Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on nakshatras. As you know, there are 27 nakshatras um, as per Vedic astrology. Of course, we are not discussing the 28th nakshatra, which is called Abhijit, and mention of that nakshatra is there in various Puranas, but um, practically we consider 27 nakshatras, each nakshatra being 13 degrees and 20 minutes in length out of the zodiac of 360 degrees. So 13 degrees and 20 minutes times 27 makes it exactly 360 degrees. So there are 27 nakshatras. So far we have discussed the first two nakshatras, which were Ashwini and Bharani, and today we'll be discussing the third nakshatra, which is Krittika. So the nakshatra is pretty much as per ancient mythology. Of course, it's not a myth, it's true. People call it mythology, but I consider it truth, so I don't like to use the word mythology. But as per mythology, the 27 nakshatras are symbolic of the 27 daughters of Daksha Prajapati, who has been created by Lord Brahma himself. And why we discuss the nakshatras is because the moon jumps from one nakshatra to another nakshatra in approximately one day, because it moves into one zodiac sign. He moves through one zodiac sign rather in 2.25 days. And that's the one zodiac sign is 30 degrees. So one nakshatra is 13 degrees and 20 minutes. So 30 degrees makes approximately 2.25 days. So that's how the movement of moon is, moon being the fastest out of the planets. Of course, in Vedic astrology, we consider moon as a planet. So, and then as moon moves from one nakshatra to another nakshatra, we base our predictions accordingly as to what nakshatra a person is born in. Of course, every planet is in a certain nakshatra, but we consider moon very importantly, because as moon moves from one nakshatra to another nakshatra, in a generic term we say, okay, the person is born in this nakshatra wherever the moon is placed at the time of his birth. So like I said, we've discussed so far the first two nakshatras, which were Ashwini and Bharani, and today we'll be discussing about Krittika. Now, as we started the first nakshatra was in the zodiac spine over a span of 0 to 13 degrees and 20 minutes, and then the second nakshatra Bharani comes in the first zodiac sign. So going back, the first nakshatra starts from the zodiac sign of Aries between 0 degrees to 13 degrees and 20 minutes. The second nakshatra goes from 13 degrees 21 minutes through 26 degrees and 40 minutes within the zodiac sign of Aries. And the third and the most important part here is when we discuss the third nakshatra, Krittika, the distance starts from 26 degrees and 41 minutes in Aries through 10 degrees of Taurus. So it occupies two zodiac signs. So it occupies 26 degrees and 41 minutes through 30 degrees of Aries, and then from 0 degrees of Aries through 10 degrees of Taurus, the second zodiac sign. So the first two nakshatras were in Aries, and the third one jumps, a part of it still stays in Aries, and a part of it jumps into the second zodiac sign of Taurus. So we have to remember that. So understanding the position of the nakshatras, the first two nakshatras are completely in the zodiac sign of Aries, which is ruled by the planet Mars. And here, a part of Krittika, which is the third nakshatra, is in Aries, so a part of it is influenced by Mars, because Aries is ruled by Mars, and then it moves into Taurus until 10 degrees of Taurus. So a part of it is also ruled by the planet Venus, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. So that's a very interesting thing we have to keep in mind while analyzing somebody's chart and analyzing. And then and there are 4 divisions of a nakshatra, which are 3 degrees and 20 minutes each. So we'll be discussing about that 4 divisions in our next video, but right now I want to discuss general characteristics about Krittika, and those 4 divisions of 3 degrees and 20 minutes form 13 degrees and 20 minutes. So we'll first discuss as to what are the general characteristics of Krittika without going into the divisions or padas, as we call it in Sanskrit. So Krittika, as I've already explained, starts from 26 degrees and 41 minutes Aries through 10 degrees of Taurus, and the general characteristics of people born in this nakshatra. And when I say again, people born in this nakshatra means when moon was placed in between 26 degrees 41 minutes of Aries through 10 degrees of Taurus. That's what we call people born with this nakshatra, because in a generic term we just consider that moon's the placement of moon, because it's a nakshatra is actually a place where moon jumps from one nakshatra to, it's a lunar mansion, so as to say, a nakshatra. So we'll consider moon's placement at the time of birth. So people who are born in Krittika Nakshatra, or once again, people whose moon was in Krittika Nakshatra at the time of their birth, they are generally very determined, very ambitious, very tenacious people. That's one. The symbol of this nakshatra, every nakshatra has a symbol, like we've discussed in the earlier 2 nakshatras. The symbol of this nakshatra is axe, or a sharp edge, or something very sharp. So that's the symbol that describes actually the tenaciousness and the determination and the ambition of this nakshatra, or people born under this nakshatra. The ruling planet of this nakshatra is the planet Sun, and the presiding deity is Agni. Agni is the god of fire, as per Hindu mythology. Again, I don't want to use the word mythology, but the god of fire is Agni, and Agni is the presiding deity of people born in this nakshatra of Krittika. The positive traits and actually of people under this nakshatra are very famous. They're famous and they're very handsome, good-looking people. And why good-looking? Because well, Taurus ruled by Venus, that's one zodiac sign which it is falling under when we talk of zodiac signs. But of course the ruling planet is Sun. So the handsome characteristic probably comes from the fact that Venus owns a part of this nakshatra, being the lord of the zodiac sign. They're achievers, very bright and very dignified, good leaders, very honorable. Well, that comes from Sun, because the ruling planet is Sun, so they're extremely honorable, committed. Confidence is one of the major characteristic, a positive characteristic of people born under Krittika Nakshatra. Very courageous, of course. That part is coming from the ruling planet of Sun. And ambitious, of course. Ambitious in a very positive way. Negative traits, again, very stubborn at times, because of course it's a mixture of rulership of Mars and Sun and Venus. So basically Sun, because the ruling planet of the nakshatra per se is Sun. So we don't have to go much into what the ruling zodiac sign is under which it falls. We'll look at the ruling planet as far as the nakshatra lordship is concerned, without going into what zodiac sign it is and what ruler is of that particular zodiac sign. So we'll take Sun as a more appropriate lordship as far as discussing the characteristics of people born in this nakshatra is concerned. So like I said, they are very stubborn, very impatient at times, sometimes too over ambitious, too ambitious, and that's because, you know, it's a fire element. Agni is the presiding deity. That's what gives them extreme ambitiousness, but then sometimes it turns into a negative trait as well. Sometimes they work too hard to achieve their goals, and, you know, they get, you know, kind of burnt out because of that. Very aggressive, sometimes too aggressive for what they should be. And sometimes the desires are more than one can handle it. So these are the negative traits per se of people born in Krittika Nakshatra. Career interests, so they can be extremely, and it's been found, and they have been great musicians, dancers. And although the element is Agni, the presiding deity is Agni or fire, and the ruling planet is sun, but somewhere the Taurus part, because of the rulership of the zodiac sign they are in, also comes into play. So it's been found that they have been found to be extremely successful musicians and dancers and singers, fashion designers, as well, as far as the career interest is concerned. And then we'll go into details once we discuss the divisions of that nakshatra and the paras, rather, which is it's called in Sanskrit. But as a general rule, Krittika people have been very successful musicians, dancers, and singers. And like I said, that may be coming from the Taurus element, where it is placed until 10 degrees of Taurus, and the rulership is Venus. But very dominantly, very prominently rather, they have been found to be having extremely good military careers. Again, the ruling planet is sun, the element and the presiding deity is Agni or fire, so military career makes a lot of sense. Fire and police department personnel, that also makes a lot of sense. Sometimes weapon makers, that also makes a lot of sense here because of the element of fire. And also they have been found to be very successful, and some of the people have come up as heads of states or heads of organizations. You know, somebody who can be great leaders, somebody who can be very ambitiously placed in their careers, and head of organizations, CEOs, so on and so forth. So you know, and that's pretty much, you know, we are taking into consideration the rulership of the planet sun, which has leadership qualities, and that is the key word here. Who can be heads of large organizations, and who have extreme ambitions, and who have the power to go and get what they want because of the power of Agni or fire, which is the presiding deity here. So that's pretty much what we've discussed about Krittika Nakshatra today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, we'll be discussing about the 4 divisions of Krittika Nakshatra in our next video, because I don't want to confuse you with too much. This is the general characteristic, and this is the ruling planet, the presiding deity, and the nature and the positive traits, negative traits, and the careers they can excel in. And hopefully you enjoyed this video, and in the meanwhile I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you soon. Thank you.